sorry, I'm late. Sorry, let me get in. Yeah. Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for the brand new video for the second time today, which I'm hopeful you can see by the way, as we're here for a good old fashioned Rangers dirty double. But I might be talking to myself as I've tried to wait this reaction video out as long as I possibly can, as YouTube's not really great at promoting two videos at the same time. So you might see the Joe Rothwell video or you might see the Emmanuel Fernandez video. It might be one, it might be both if YouTube gods are being very, very nice to me. But again, I could be sitting here talking to myself. But hopefully you are watching right now, because we're here for another reason, and that reason is thankfully another signing. As people have been screaming, people have been demanding signings. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Rangers go ahead and show they're just like buses. You wait all day for one and two comes at the same time, as we've already just welcomed Joe. You know what I mean? We barely let go of that warm embrace, and now Emmanuel Fernandez is standing there looking like a tall drink of water regarding the back line. So it's time to welcome him to the football club as well, and we have a lot to talk about. And I think the best place to start today's video is actually give everyone a wee bit of laugh and a wee bit of peek behind the curtain, as this is chaotic and this is amazing. For me, it's very, very stressful, because I've actually already filmed and edited and uploaded a video regarding Emmanuel Fernandez. It had just been cleared by YouTube and it was ready to rock and roll, but it wasn't announcement video. Nah, if you watch the Joe video, and I replied to a couple comments, I gave you a wee tease, you might be seeing me soon, you might be seeing me very soon, but I'm not taking credit for this getting announced the night. My soon was the Mora, as I was going to post a rumour video regarding this bad boy. So that actually makes it two rumour videos in a row I've had filmed, edited and uploaded, ready to go, and both of them's been announced before I've been able to go ahead and post them. And now that I just say that out loud, BRB, I'm going to take a wee minute, I'm going to film a rumour video about Leo Messi to Rangers. But hey, as I said with the Joe video, when you take the rumours away, it is a hell of a lot more fun, because we just get to react, we get to be excited, and we get to get lost on the prospect and the potential of what this player could be for this football club. Because he's here, the scarf's above his head, so let's go ahead and talk about him now as he becomes the latest arrival in this football club. And again, we've got a lot to talk about. And where do we start? I hear the voices ask in the grey noggin. That's right, none other than the player profile. And that starts with Emmanuel Fernandez being a 23-year-old centre-half who's got a citizenship of both England and Nigeria, being able to play with either if he wants, to represent either as he continues his career. But again, he's a centre-half, so what are we getting right away? I know everyone's getting excited. Everyone's wanting to know his height. Please, did he be 5'8"? Please, did he be a ball-playing defender? I'm going to disappoint you on one side, but it's certainly no the height, as we have finally brought some height to the back line in this football club, as Emmanuel stands at 6'4" / 6'5", depending on how happy he is, and he can get up and he can actually header the football. We've signed a centre-back that can header a ball, ladies and gentlemen. This could be it for me. You know what I mean? This could be it. As always, there's usually is a little bit of a but, and there is also a little flip side to the coin. Because you hear 6'4", 6'5", big centre-half that can get up, and when he does, thankfully, by the way. But does that mean he's that big, physical, dominating centre-back we've been really lacking since probably Katic has left this football club? Have we finally got more of a Katic rather than more of a John Suter in terms of the ball playing? Nah, no really, but that's almost a credit to Emmanuel himself, because when it goes right, he is very comfortable on the ball, right? He is athletic and running, everything like that. He can get up there, but again, the ball at his feet, he's comfortable picking up for the goalie, springing a pass into the six, or trying to flip it out to the right back, or even try a cheeky diag. Ladies and gentlemen, it might sound boring, it might seem basic, but this is the single most Russell Martin player you could possibly draw up. And if you really want to be blunt about it, it's a very, very familiar story in terms of ball at his feet being very, very comfortable in terms of what we've been signing over the last couple of years. But again, the caveat to that, the cherry on the top of the cake, is the fact that he stands that freaking tall. He can move, he can win you in a foot race, he isn't as slow as a weekend in the cells, and he can dominate in the air by getting his noggin on it, both from defending the set pieces and attacking set pieces. As this is a man who is a goal for it. When you're chucking in corners, the likes of Joe with the corners he's able to do. Remember last season for Leeds, Joe created the single most chances created from his set pieces. Well, you've just went ahead and paired them with a 6'4/6'5" guy that can get up there and make things happen, and that's exciting to me again, especially defensively, because I didn't need to watch Cadden, I didn't need to watch Kelly, I didn't need to watch Declan John, I didn't need to watch Matt Kennedy coast balls into our box time and time again, and our centre halves are standing fricking still, losing the aerial duels. If Emmanuel's on the park and that ball comes into the mixer, the big man's going after it. But again, he's no just that. He's got different aspects to his game, so it's definitely one that's got potential, but the potential is very high. As you know, I've been paying attention to the likes of Connor Cody. I've been paying attention to a lot of the centre halves we've got at the football club, and I'm trying to piece together what I think Russell Martin, based on his time primarily at Swansea, because that's when I've seen him a lot more, as you already know, we've talked about on the channel. I'm starting to try to put the pieces together. I'm trying to envision what the hell we're trying to do, and he is right-footed, so I do certainly see him more of a right centre half, especially if he is playing obviously in a Rangers team in a back four. That's where he'll be. But again, in terms of a back three, do I think he's fluid enough to be able to play in there? Do I think he's good enough with the ball at his feet? It does off it. It does all match up again. We just don't know how the hell we're going to play until that very first game versus Panathinaikos. Again, the friendlies will tell us wee bits and bobs, but you know that's when you try things, that's when you make things up. It's a very, very interesting piece to add to the board, but again, as Rangers fans, we know for a fact we need centre halves. Now, is this the incredible centre half that's going to drastically change our luck and fix all our problems and answer all of our prayers? If I'm being honest with you, no. The kid is incredibly, incredibly raw. He's got the tools, he's got the potential, but that potential's not quite been followed up, as again, his word of mouth and his reports and everything are very mixed. When he's good, he really looks like he can be son. When he's no as good, there's a lot of frustrations and a lot of doubters if he's ever going to kick on and be the player people maybe expected him to be in, 12 to 18 months ago. But something I do feel like that is worth mentioning, and again, I'm never trying to be disrespectful here when I go ahead and say this type of stuff, but it's important to put in the context of where they are and where they're playing and where they're moving to. And that's not me being big-headed, because I know we've got our defensive struggles, but where he was in terms of Peterborough, no disrespect, they're a team that concede a lot of goals, they concede a lot of chances, and they're not expected to beat 99.9% of the league and win the majority of their games, or at least that's just the way I actually look at them. Right, they go on some good runs, they've had some great results and great wins, but again, they're not a team that likes, say, Rangers in Scottish football, who's expected to be dominating every single game. So the kid's had a hard paper round, he's having to learn on the job, and yeah, he has made some mistakes and they've blasted him for it, but he's also had some pretty good games, like the cup final versus Birmingham, where he was absolutely standing, played the entire game, kept the clean sheet and lifted up the trophy. It was very good on that day, and it has been a little bit of a coin flip, but again, that erraticness should change, or should be helped by the fact he's coming to a Rangers side who again should be dominating chances, that should be on the ball, that maybe helps him develop in other areas in terms of that. Now again, his concentration, and that's obviously going to have to be at it, as it's going to be one long ball in behind them. But again, are we worrying about his recovery pace or any of his athleticism? No, he's a 23-year-old that can actually go, that likes to get stuck in. So I'm very, very interested to see how he does in a Rangers team and how much game time he gets right away, because certainly when it goes right, again, he's very promising. It's just when it's no, there's a lot of questions and a lot of doubters of what this kid actually is. But again, that's maybe enough in the player profile, right? He's got some pros, he's got some cons, but who doesn't, especially at 23 years old. Let's move to the old numbers and stats then, shall we? Because it'll tell you just how raw this kid actually is and how much time he's actually had on the old playing surface. And coming off last season where he played pretty much nearly every game for Peterborough, he played a total of 42 games during that period, in which he bragged in 5 goals, by the way. We'll love to see it. We badly need a bit of fret. He also picked up 3 yellow cards in one game. He picked up 2 to get sent off, and for the first time in this kid's career, he went ahead and picked up a straight red card. And did he deserve it? Aye, he did, but that was his season. It was a bit up and down. There was some nice stuff, some bad stuff, some good praise, some bad criticism, and it was a guy that again was heavily involved in that good cup run that they went ahead and had, and which saw them go ahead and win the trophy by again beating Birmingham, where again I think that was his crowning achievement of the season. People went, oh, he can be good. Yes, he can. But something that I do think is worth mentioning, by the way, is during that cup run, which again, I know it's not the FA Cup, I know it's not this, I know under 21 sides do get invited, it's not the Premier competition or anything like that, but you can only ever beat what's in front of you. But what stood out to me is the fact that he was trusted twice to wear the captain's armband, despite being a young laddie, and that says there's something up there as well, and it's a very familiar thing in terms of what we're picking up so far this season, guys that are trusted like that, and that type of mentality and that type of character. Now again, he wasn't blessed with the armband every single week, but 23-year-old, at that point 22 I believe, to have wore the armband twice in a cup competition is still something worth noting. Still got a hell of a long way to go now. I'm not expecting him to come up the road and take the armband off Tav, but maybe just a wee sign of his maturity and the trust he had already earned after what was again an 18-game season the previous year, which I do think a lot of the word of mouth and some of the scary stuff you've maybe saw on social media comes from because his first real season when he was trusted to play, I mean, the match reports were good through the floor. Good through the floor. And there was incredibly erratic. The last season, what we talked about, the 42 games that he played, besides obviously picking up the red freaking card, which again, he deserved in that game of football, there was a level or threatening to be consistent. There is something to build on. There were foundations getting played, and that came from game time, which again circles back to earlier on in the preview video. This is a very, very fascinating move because this is a kid that needs game time. But you could argue so does Clinton Nisala. You could argue a couple other players. Leon King needed that. You've seen what's happened with Leon King, not getting the development he really needs. So very, very fascinating to see what Russell Martin's currently cooking up. But if you're talking about strengthening the centre-back spot, bringing in young players that could have potential and add value to this football club that's going to partner with maybe potential experience being brought in, it all starts to make sense because your backline is horrific, and the mere bodies and the physical attributes this kid has got in terms of being able to header the ball and actually being able to jump at that height is definitely a step in the right direction, and in my opinion begins to strengthen an area of the park that's absolutely garbage. He's not going to be the answer to all of our prayers. I don't think he's going to be a nailed-on starter, but it's the first of a couple centre-backs I'm expecting to see this season because Proper's future's upside down. We lost Leon Balogun. John Souttar's got a year left to his deal and he can't stay fit for 3 months, and then even then it's up. Then it's doing, and Ben Davies has a year left to his deal as well. We need a complete overhaul, and this for me is a step in those terms of replacements, and I'm probably expecting about that, if I'm being brutally honest. If the big contract can't get sorted out with Soapy, I'm expecting about that many in over this window and possibly into January. So that's all his footballing CV. Again, it's no filled with this. He's not got great experience in the Championship or the Premier League like we've been talking about recently or anything like that. But 23-year-old, he's played an entire season last year in League One, which again is not the highest quality, but it's competitive and it's physical, and again he's improved on what he'd done the previous year, and that's all you can ever ask for young players is to improve. There will be mistakes, but you've got to learn from it, and you've got to be given the game time to learn from it, and I think that's what Peterborough done last season, and I think it's why we went ahead, identified him and picked him up. But taking a step back to finish off his numbers and stats properly, not taking into consideration youth football, reserve football, where again I know he's got some impressive stats, but I'm not interested in that. He's played a total of 69 matches at the highest level he's been able to play so far, in which he has 7 goals to his name. He's got 10 yellows. I think I said he only picked up, was it 3 yellows earlier on last season? I actually meant to say he picked up 7 yellow cards. I do apologise, I've just realised I've said that about 3 minutes later. That's the way the OCD brain works. So last season he picked up 7, no 3 yellow cards, but in total in his career he's picked up 10 yellow cards, and again he's been sent off twice in his career, once through a double yellow and one through a straight red card, which happened last frickin' season. And coming up the road, I imagine it won't be his last. But aye, as this is the second upload of the day, and I'm not even sure YouTube will let anybody see this video, I'm very, very nervous. I'm going to probably wrap up today's video right there, or today's second video, with just a brief wee mention of the competition for places, which I think I've already kind of broke down. Is he a nailed-on starter? Does he jump to the front of the queue? I don't think so, in my opinion. I hope so. Hope I'm wrong completely. But again, putting everything on the table, I don't think he's quite there yet. But does he begin to replace the dominoes that's about to fall regarding our back line? I think it's a strong step in the right direction. When you consider we brought in a different Fernandez, slightly different spelling, we've got one with a Z at the end. That's much, much cooler than the previous S in terms of Fernandez's. When you compare what we had last season to this, is a big, massive step up, as there's game time, there's experience in there. And again, I'm very interested to see, because Nasala's apparently turning heads in training. Can that be the future core of this team? Can somebody come in there and help them kick on to there? And again, I'm very interested to see what Russell Martin does with a big man who's certainly got a lot of traits and a lot of tools to potentially fix glaring issues in that back line. But aye, I'm going to wrap up today's video there. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions if you are watching today's video. That would be absolutely sensational. And before I do wrap up, again for the second time today, shout out to all the Channel Legend members who signed up via the membership. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And everyone else who's also signed up to the supporter range. I probably didn't deserve it, but I really, really appreciate it. And to each and every single person who takes time out their day, sometimes multiple, to watch this guy talk about football, thank you honestly so much. But until next time, I've been CJNover992. If there's anybody you want me to write up and make a video and get it prepared to go ahead and talk about in terms of rumours, so Rangers go ahead and announce them before it's fired out, go ahead and let me know down in the comments section below. Your Mbappe's, your vintage, whatever you're wanting. I'm free right here. I can go ahead and make it. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.